Welcome back. We're going to do part three in the multi-part series on Donald Trump being potentially the most dangerous man or the biggest threat to America and potentially the world. I apologize. It's been a couple of days since I've done the last part, but I was busy. So some fun stuff has actually happened though in the last couple of days. Donald Trump said at a rally or a speech, whatever, he stood up there on his podium and he said that his followers are so loyal that he could go out onto Fifth Avenue in New York City and shoot someone and he wouldn't lose a single vote. Basically, Trump just called you a moron for supporting him. He said that he can do anything he wants and that you guys are so fanatical that you will continue to blindly follow him. Now, I don't know if you guys realized that he was calling you basically idiots. He did. My supporters are so loyal, I could shoot someone and not lose a vote. Now, you're lemmings to him. You're nothing but a bottom line, a number, whatever. But so I was discussing that with somebody the other day, and they said, well, what about the whole military thing with the whole rape and sexual assault in the military? What do you think about that? And I had to do some research because it wasn't something that recently came up. It was something that recently resurfaced. I guess back in 2013, Donald Trump had tweeted or said something about 26,000 sexual assault allegations in the United States military and only 238 convictions. What did these geniuses expect when they put men and women together in the military? And where the obvious answer for that is for the men not to rape the women, I guess the underlying undercurrent there, the thing that makes you have to think, or at least it made me think, is if Donald Trump does become president, is one of his first orders going to be the removal of women and also, obviously, homosexuals from the military, because putting men and women together obviously results in rape. What are we going to do now? We're going to make, that includes colleges, police forces, executive positions. I mean, men and women can't work together, Donald. Men and women are... Rape happens when men and women get together. And it's always the woman's fault. You know, a girl goes to school provocatively dressed or dressed any particular way, whether it's provocative or not. See, I never let my daughters out of the house looking like that. And if you do, you're a bad parent. But that doesn't mean that your daughter should be sexually assaulted. And it also doesn't mean that your daughter should be sent home because she's wearing a t-shirt that might expose this much, or she's wearing a skirt that's around the knees or something like that, and she gets sent home because it might distract the boys. Parents, if your boys are that easily distracted, that makes them future rapists, at least as far as Donald Trump is concerned. So there's that. But back to the whole you're a moron thing. I think that Donald Trump is just saying these outlandish things. I think he's trying to tank the election. And that people are so rabid that no matter what he says, his supporters are just they have blinders on. He said that he's going to launch nuclear weapons. He said it. I'm going to put 4 Ohio-class submarines in the Persian Gulf and launch nuclear Trident missiles at ISIS. We're currently bombing oil fields right now that are controlled by ISIS, and that has me a little bit. I don't even know how I feel about that, because the oil fields weren't originally controlled by ISIS. They were controlled by whoever the governing body was: Syria, Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan, wherever the oil is being pumped out of the ground. Kuwait. When Saddam Hussein retreated from Kuwait and set all of the oil fields on fire, that was a bad thing. But now we are bombing oil fields simply because of the people that are currently in control of them. And I'm not really sure how that works or why we think that's a good idea, because if they just up and walked away tomorrow, now what? How many billions of dollars is it going to take to reestablish that oil field, or that the pumps, the whatever, the drilling, the stations, the refineries, all that stuff? That's the cutting off your nose to spite your own face deal. But Apparently Donald Trump thinks that's a good idea as well. So I guess that's part three. Donald Trump thinks you're a moron. And the fact that you guys continue to support him, the GOP, every single person in the Republican Party, and it's not because he's winning that they're bashing him. It's because he's that crazy, and it's almost like a Klan rally, where no matter what the guy up there says, as long as he finishes it with white power, everybody cheers. And I guess that's kind of ironic considering that Donald Trump's father has some ties to some white supremacy groups. And white supremacy groups make absolutely no qualms about the fact that they had originally contributed millions of dollars to his campaign, but even they think that he is far too radical. When the Ku Klux Klan thinks that you are too radical, what does that say? I don't know. That's we'll have to think about that. And I guess that's our 6 minutes and whatever. So keep it classy, guys. Pay attention to what's going on around you, please.